Hi everyone, welcome to the Sports Breakdown. So I brought in Venuja and Bhaskar sir. So happy Diwali to everyone from the Sports Breakdown today. So we are going to happy Diwali to Bhaskar sir as well. I think you're a Hindu, right? If I'm not mistaken, yeah, you're Indian, right? Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you very
celebrate.
much.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
happy Diwali to everyone and all to the Hindus out there, even the Sri Lankans who are celebrating it today. So today we are going to do the post-match analysis of Tuesday's matches. First, South Africa versus Bangladesh, Pakistan versus Namibia, and on Wednesday yesterday, crucial victory for India today. Their first ever, victory in the 2020 World Cup in 2021. They registered their first points on the table, beating Afghanistan. So we'll be discussing that, and New Zealand versus Scotland, which is a very close match. So we'll be discussing everything. And by the way, the link is being sent, so anyone can come live. Yeah. So first, let's go through South Africa versus Bangladesh because we didn't go through Tuesdays and Wednesdays matches, unfortunately. Um, Bhaskar sir, about Bangladesh, I know they didn't have Shakib Al Hassan in this match, but to get dismissed of 84, did you expect this from Bangladesh first of all?
Yeah, so I obviously 85 was in a way some kind of a recovery because the way it was looking, they would go to 40, 60 runs only. Obviously, it was not expected in terms of because it was a day match. They were batting first overall, but I think the pace. I think with Rabada and Notye, you always felt that with Shakib and world class batter out, they can also have that kind of outfit. And I think they struggled in this tournament. Has not been good for them. They got lost to Scotland overall, and I was expecting South Africa to win comfortably, but
Hmm.
actually, South Africa made the chase much tougher than I actually had thought. So,
Yeah.
in fact, I think in bowling, Bangladesh overperformed. Yeah.
Hmm. When we were talking about Noike and Rabada, especially, I think Rabada was awarded man of the match because he got two crucial wickets, I think, in one over. And Noike also has been superb. I think he's the highest rise, I think, in the 2020 rankings, coming to the top 10 of the 2020 rankings. So, thoughts on these Delhi Capital boys? I mean, both of them doing well in the IPL, in the death bowling, and then now they're doing well for South Africa. So thoughts on Rabada and Noike's performance in this match? Yeah. Mayuj, I can't hear you. Sorry. No, we can't
No, we
hear her.
can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, again, yeah.
Okay, that was awful. Sorry, sorry. Okay, so anyways, Pawan, I understand how proud you are when these two are getting capital boys, but speaking about Nokia and Rabada, these two have been the frontline players that had the South African team, so it was anyways expected. But of the recent past, Rabada has been found his range, so this was probably a good outing for him, and to continue this form for the later crunch matches that they're expected to play. So it was a good pace bowling performance by South Africans.
Hmm, very true. Yeah. Nothing much to say except for Mahidi Hassan, who saved Bangladesh, I think, from more embarrassment. Otherwise, they would have been bowled out for 60. I think at
Yeah.
one place they were 45 for 6. So they were in deep trouble.
No,
Um,
yeah. So that's what I was saying that we made a kind of a recovery. They doubled the score for the last four. This thing. So if you look at it after the 11th over, actually Bangladesh performance was very good. Like they batted well and then they bowled
I
very well.
think
So
yeah,
yeah.
Mehdi Hassan has been the probably the star batting batter in both the matches versus England and South Africa. He
hmm.
he did uplift the Bangladeshi score. Otherwise, they would have been bundled out for a lower, way lower score.
Yeah, very true. Yes.
Yeah, but I
So
think the key part, Pawan, was like when you were mentioning that in Nortje and Grabada, the key thing was that the Bangladeshi batsmen were out playing defensive shots. Muhammadullah trying to fend one
mm,
off, like before that. It was not that they're hitting across the line and all that. So this pace was too hot for them, I think, and then that's what get it. And then in terms of the spinners also, like both Maharaj and Shamsi also had a quite a good impact in terms of keeping the runs down. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it was quite unexpected to see these experienced players get out so cheaply. I mean, after all, they're so experienced that they in New Zealand, South Africa on these pacey tracks. So is definitely not an excuse for getting out of the so cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I mean, we spoke about the bowling. I mean, Tabriz Shamsi also has been good. Unfortunately, now he's the number two 2020 bowler. But I mean, Shamsi has been also effective in this T20 World Cup. Number two. Venus, I think there's some vibrations in your line. A lot. Yeah. So, yeah, if you can fix it
Yeah,
a
some
bit. Yeah.
disturbance is coming.
Fine, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he's logged
Uh,
in on another device, I guess. I don't know.
yeah. Can you just fix it for a while? Ask from Bhaskar sir about Shamsi's performance so far in the 2020 World Cup. Has he impressed you, or you expect a bit more from Shamsi? Like in this pitch, I mean, especially it was played in I think in Abu Dhabi, if I'm not mistaken. So how was Shamsi's bowling also? Helping Noiki and Rabada as well and putting pressure, especially
Yeah.
Maharaj for 2020 World Cup for him also, and playing only a few matches. So thoughts on both these bowlers?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think Shamsi did a good job. Actually, he only came on to bowl, I think, on the 10th or 11th over, right? Because the damage was done. They, in fact, bowled Pretorius much ahead of him in that way. And then there were an early run out which happened, and then the wicket happened. So he's bowling quite well, I think. He's a kind of bowler, left arm, wrist spin, which I think Bangladeshis would have not faced that much. There are, anyways, very few of them. I think Sandakan is there. Sri Lankans have one. Kuldeep Yadav
yeah,
in India is there. So I think he's been number one bowler for a long time in terms of international T20. So we know that international T20s, the number one like players like David Malan and Shamsi are not really the most sort of players in the franchise leagues. Like, but they are a part of the teams. But the decent performance. I think South Africa still in a tricky position right now because of that game versus Australia, which they lost, and then to a very close game in that way. And I think this is what we are seeing is that the early part of the tournament, if you mess up, West Indies had a slow start, and India obviously had a slow start. We all know, and South Africa also had a slightly slow start. And even though you pick up momentum, this is a tournament where one loss is too many sometimes. Yeah.
yeah. And talking about South Africa, they really struggled in this Abu Dhabi pitch, which no one expected. I mean, Mehdi Hassan and Nasur Mohammed really troubled. Even I mean, the fast bowlers even
Dustin
troubled
Ahmed as well.
the South African batters. So. Uh, Big concern, right, for South Africa right now. I mean, even though they chased this 86, but they didn't do it in style. So, when is your thoughts on the South Africans' reply in this
Yeah,
match?
they definitely should have looked to go off the target and up their net run rate. But credit goes to Dustin Ahmed and the two Bangladeshi spaces in Dustin Ahmed and
Yeah,
Shoaib Islam, as well as the spinners who supported but couldn't do much. But still, uh, it they should have done better. The South African batsmen, top of it especially.
Yeah.
mm,
So yeah, I agree. I think they were when I was watching the match, it was very clear that they were not very clear on what roles they have. So the thing is that usually Bavuma bats at three, but he came later. So I think they send up Markham up, to, to like faster scoring. But when Markham came, he was playing very slowly, and then he missed one ball, they were close leg before, and then he edged it to first slip, right? So
yeah,
the thing
yeah,
was that I don't think they were very clear that I think they started with saying that okay, let's win this match first, make it secure. Then they said okay, no, let's get to the run rate, and then again they went back to saying that let's just win the match in that way. So this was I think a bit muddled thinking in terms of this thing. I think this match they should have. 86 runs they should have tried to finish in 10 overs, and even if they had lost 5 6 wickets, I don't think it was an issue because the what we should also notice is that Bangladesh without Shakib, right? So their bowling lineup, obviously Tuskin bowled very well, and Mehdi Hassan was bowling quite a tight line. But like with Soumya Sarkar and Nasum Ahmed there, you know that the fourth or fifth bowler will come. So eventually, you can always win the match in that way. So there was, I think, the strategy wise they were a bit lost on whether to secure the win versus net run rate. Yeah.
very true.
Yeah, there was maybe a lack of clarity within that batting. I mean, if you have taken the previous match with South Africa and Sri Lanka, like what Bhaskar said, Timba Bavuma batted up the order, but they've pretty much messed up with their batting order. So it shouldn't be the way going ahead.
Very true. Yeah. But surprised that Rabada got man of the match because Noike, I think 2.3 overs he bowled and he got 3 for it. Whereas Rabada, I think 3 for 20, I think off his 4 overs. So, Bhaskar sir, do you think Noike would have got the man of the match? So, Rabada deserves it,
No,
getting the crucial batsman out.
I think like in T20s also, like the value of
Hmm.
a wicket in first 6 overs and a top order batter is much higher than a bottom order batter. So
Yeah,
Nortje, if you look at his wickets were all like number 9, 10, lower
yeah.
order
He got
wicket, and if
Mamadullah
you just
and
open it,
Yeah,
Mehdi
he,
Hassan as
Mahmudi
well.
and
yeah,
Mehdi
yeah.
Hassan.
And then 18 over, he just got the last two batsmen, like which were like just 10 and Jack. So obviously the
This is some.
match had already been turned. Yeah.
Hmm.
This is somewhat the comparison between Asha Patel's wickets and uh,
Yeah. So
who's it?
actually, if you go there
Tahir
and look at
Afghani's
smart stats, look at
Yeah,
statistics, and there will be smart
yeah, sure.
stats.
Yeah,
Or I think maybe you have to look at MVP. Look at MVP. I think the no, go up,
yeah,
go up,
MVP,
go up.
I think. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, MVP,
yeah, you
yes.
click on MVP, and then you will see like their
Yeah, it's
thing.
Kagis Rabada. Yeah,
So you, yeah. So if you look at Nortje, will be like half the points of what
Rabada did.
the points were
Mhm.
there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
the
the impact
impact was
numbers. Yeah,
much different.
In other
yeah,
words, it's
yeah,
not just the wickets, the impact the wickets have on the game.
Yeah, obviously 18th over, it makes a difference of taking a wicket because there, but it's not as obviously the power play wickets are much because it's a top order wicket and the course of the match can change, and that's what happens. Like Afridi taking two wickets in the first over, that is then the whole match is actually dictated by how the other team plays, and even yesterday, if you look at, and we'll come to that match, in New Zealand match versus Scotland, like the Scotland getting two three wickets. At the start, obviously changed the whole match for the first 10 overs. Yeah.
yeah. Rohan over here says playing on ranked turners at home backfired for Bangladesh as preparation for this World Cup.
Yes, it very much did. It was like, uh, painting a silver line where they did not have one. So it was indeed a false positive.
Yeah,
No, but I think Bangladesh, the way Bangladesh plays the cricket, I think they are very clear. That they are prioritized winning at home, right? So in a way, how Sri Lanka was doing also at one point of time, where every team does it. So, and I know that they actually know that man to man, if they are going in Australia and New Zealand, right, the full center time, they are not going to compete with them. So I don't think that is a bad strategy to get the confidence in that way. And actually, rank turners were too much. But if you look at it, so there are three types of pitches. If I use it, there are 200 pitch, which is where New Zealand type happens. There's UAE is a 150, 170, 60 type of pitch, and then they were playing at a 90 to 100 pitch, right? So
hmm,
I
yeah,
think if you look at 90 to 100 pitch is close to a 150 pitch and then a 200 pitch in that way. So it's just I think Tamim Iqbal not playing overall, and then I think the overall they're very dependent on. I think they have
Shakib.
similar problems to India. Yeah, so Shakib is there, but I think if you look at Shakib, and then if you look at Mahmudullah and you look at this guy Mushfiqur,
Mustafa
they
Rahim.
all actually are very slow starters in this thing. The only guy who starts fast was
Yeah,
Afif and
Tamim.
Naeem, right? These are the two.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think
And
they have
does.
problems in their, yeah. So they have too many anchors in their team, and I think that always comes back and bites you, especially if you lose a couple of wickets, because then nobody is hitting at either end. Yeah.
And Bhaskar sir, about Mustafa Rahim, I think he's the most experienced Bangladesh batsman, and they are making him bat lower the order. So, I mean, when he's the most experienced Bangladeshi batsman and he's played so many 2020 captains and he has captained this side also previously, do you think that Rahim can bat a bit higher actually for Bangladesh and actually play as at least an anchor role or even can play a fiery role at times? So, thoughts on that? Why
Yeah.
Bangladesh? I mean, even in the
Yeah.
qualifiers, I saw they made him bat at number 8 even. So, yes,
Yeah, so I think I agree and kind of disagree because I think Mushfiqur Rahim can bat at a higher order, but he has to bat very differently. He cannot be playing this anchor role where he takes a lot of time to develop, and then if Shakib is also doing at the same time. So in fact, in the match he was playing number 8, it was a better strategy because the previous match against Scotland, he and Shakib got stuck for such a long while, and I think eventually they lost by 5 runs or 6 runs in that match, even
yeah,
if the late order was there. So I think that if Mushfiqur has to play in the lineup. I first of all, if he's going to do this role, I don't think they need him, right? Because it's like Litton Das can keep. They have another keeper, so he's not keeping in that way. And then he's playing so slowly that so I think for him, if the way he played in one of the matches where he came very late and started hitting, that may be the better role for him because he won't do if he goes up. I think Bangladesh still has this mindset of conservative batting, so he will definitely try to keep his wicket. So it's better for him to them to keep him very late and just come and try and
But
hit out.
don't you guys think because how prone Bangladesh are to collapses, uh, isn't it better for Mushfiqur Rahim to play the anchor role because
No, but
they have power hitters in Afiq Hussain, Mahmudullah, Mehdi
Mm,
Hassan can bat as well.
yeah, true.
yeah, no, but
So I mean,
Shakib is already doing that role, right? And so to
but
me,
he's not
how
in the
you
team,
cannot have
so he's
two.
got to adjust.
Yeah, so now he's not in the team, but I honestly think that though he batted quite high, right? This
Yeah.
match.
Yeah, Shakib, I think, opened, I think, in the previous match before he got injured. I think that's because he had that injury concern also with his hamstring. That's why he opened with Muhammad Naim, I think, in one match. Yeah, before he was
Yeah.
ruled out of the 2020 World Cup.
But I think right now Bangladesh needs to look to the future. I mean, their core their core group of players are almost nearing the end of the road, and they should look to the future and try to win more games.
Mm. Yeah. Aryan, coming back to you also, talking about
Yeah,
Rabada's bowling. I mean, I mean, he bowled at all lengths. I mean, he was really impressive. 3 for 20. Noike helping him at the end, bowling out Bangladesh for 84. So, thoughts. I mean, Rabada had a poor 2020 World Cup so far, being expensive, and he comes back to form against Bangladesh, which obviously is a good sign for South Africa if they qualify for the semi-finals. So thoughts
hmm.
on both of them, both of these fast bowlers. Yeah,
So, firstly, happy Diwali to all of you. You know,
yeah.
and Pawan, have you been playing
Right.
some lawn tennis? You look like it.
No,
You
no,
know,
no, no. I
with
haven't. I just
the
Beautiful headband,
changed
Paul.
my
Beautiful
style a bit.
headband.
yeah, yeah.
I
Mm.
did
So
change
coming
my
to
style
these
a bit.
guys, I mean,
Yeah.
they have had so much, knowledge about these conditions, playing for like month and a half now, including
Mm-hmm.
the Delhi Capitals also, and Rabada. Well, he wasn't the bowler in the IPL as well. You know, he was tad expensive there also, but you have to back your lead bowlers, and more often than not, they will perform like this. I don't think the opposition is a factor. Like he took wickets against Bangladesh. If he bowled well against any team, that's good bowling. And if you saw, he just bounced most of the batsmen out. He was short of a length. This is what Shoaib Akhtar calls, hostile fast bowling in the eyes, aggressive, and that is what Rabada is known for. It was more like test match bowling. So that is the factor I was impressed by. And Norkia is just, he's I think consistent performer now for a few matches. So I think for me, I think South Africa is more likely to go through because I know they have England, to play, but I think today if Bangladesh can help them, that'll be good. If Australia lose, then I think South Africa are gonna
Very
go through
unlikely.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I commented this,
Let's
and I'm
look at it.
very excited to see the battle for second place in Group A between South Africa and Australia. I'm going to go ahead and say that South Africa are going to get this second
I
spot.
Yeah,
also,
South Africa.
but they
Yeah,
have
I
to
think
beat
it's going to
England,
be
Can,
South
Amarna.
Africa.
can
That
we
is the
look at the
thing.
table and see how the table is looking?
Yeah,
Because
sure,
I think
sure. After this
Australia,
match, yeah,
everything is in
let's
their hand,
focus
right?
on the next match also. After this, yeah, cover 4 matches. Yeah, I think South Africa second with a positive net run rate. Australia play Bangladesh, so they can improve this
But
negative net
yeah,
run rate. If they beat
What's the final
Bangladesh
game?
convincingly, yeah. Sri
Mm-hmm.
Lanka and West Indies. Sri Lanka can actually stop West Indies because West Indies also are in contention if they beat Sri Lanka convincingly as well. So that's also another
Yeah.
battle. So West Indies also are
If
still
only if
in.
only we had
Um,
one more game, this would have still been alive. Like a team like Bangladesh,
yes,
which we played
Aman.
earlier.
No,
But
we
If we
have
this
had
is
like
we
the,
are
one
out
more
this
I
game,
think,
one.
this would have been a huge like alive right now for us power.
West Indies have the best chance today because match
Are
is
we
in
doing
Abu
a
Dhabi.
separate preview for the Sri Lanka Windies now?
we'll do this in the same video. We'll do this in the same video and
Okay.
then do a watch along
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the second innings later. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
Hmm.
really
So
good.
yeah, so let's talk about the next match, where Pakistan versus Namibia, because Namibia gave a good fight to Pakistan that day. And the Pakistan, I think the most of the team players came to the Namibia dressing room after that match,
Yeah.
appreciating the efforts that Namibia did on Tuesday. Even though they lost by 45 runs, they gave a good fight to Pakistan that day. But simply the opening batsman once again, Rizwan and Baba Azam, once again
Baba,
Yeah,
yes.
and
being the
Babar,
most.
and I
They
think
have had a
everyone knows
brilliant
that,
World
but
Cup.
Babar is
Mhm.
now number one T20 batsman. He's just
Yeah,
overtaken David Malan, and
And yeah, yeah. Khan had made a
and
separate video on one Hindu Hasaranga, so
yeah, I
um,
know.
yeah,
yeah,
very,
yeah.
very, very
We
Yeah, so I think
yeah, very proud of
this
one Hindu.
the key. Yeah, the key thing was that Pakistan chose to bat first. I think they were just trying to do that
Yeah,
option, and
experiment. Yeah,
I think whenever a team bats first, a stronger team bats first, the gap becomes lesser. So you have seen it in Pakistan, Namibia, you have seen it in New Zealand, Scotland, and even uh, England, Sri Lanka, right? So I
yeah,
think we should not get drawn into how close the match is, because I think Pakistan, they were trying something new
yeah,
because they had batted second in the second two matches, and then they actually made a very slow start, right? So if you look at it, I think Rizwan was, I
yeah,
think, 16 or 25 balls in that way, very slow
Mhm.
start, and then they caught up. Very similar to like the New
mm,
Zealand Scotland match where they made a slow
yeah.
start in that
Uh,
way.
Yeah.
So I think if you look
mm,
at the second half of the match again, Pakistan actually just ran away with the match. So it was just a slow start. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
Namibia obviously they beat Scotland, so they are kind of and they won all their three matches, I think, in the qualifiers also, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I think
so
Yeah.
this
this
match was the only match in which
Pakistan
Pakistan
media
was
is
really put
using
under pressure.
the
Yeah,
World Cup to be fixed. Oh gosh.
mm. Yes, no, no,
Yeah.
not the World Cup. Just the yesterday's game between Afghanistan and India. Yeah,
I just want to show this video of Pakistan cricket. I
Just
hope they don't copyright me over here. Please don't on this live stream. But
please, no,
I
don't
just want
copyright.
to. I just
Don't
want to show
copyright
this
Power.
from.
He's wearing that headband and getting copyright from another channel that I know with that headband. So please don't copyright Power for this.
Yeah, but I just want to show this from what the
Oh.
Pakistan. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's echoing.
Yeah. I think yeah.
Mm.
Good. Good. I mean, sportsmanship from Pakistan in the first place, and from the manager, especially appreciating David Weiss and all the players. So that's great stuff from both Pakistan and
Didn't
Namibia
they
over
shake
here.
hands on the
Um,
field?
mm.
yeah, this
but
is great
Oh,
I
stuff
honestly
from
think
that
this is
both.
like a
shows
social
how
media
far they've come. I've
idea.
been completely
It's
so
because I
Yeah,
impressed
don't know
with
whether you
Namibia. I didn't know that they would
yeah.
even make it to the qualifiers. Then they qualify and they even get close to the, not close to the semis, but very, very impressed. And they can
mm.
definitely go back and let's just. I think in the next World Cup they will have a they will do very well. I feel like they're a growing team right now.
Mm.
Yeah, Bhaskar, so you were saying a point, right? Yeah.
So yes, I was saying that I don't know whether you guys follow the Pakistan cricket team social media feed. So they are it's a quite a good feed. You know, they create a lot of content around all these things. So the idea may have also come from their social media manager or something like
Yes,
that, because yeah,
yes,
it's a good gesture. But I think if you guys have to follow, like for after every match, the man of the match will do analysis. They will talk about banter. They will talk about other
Yeah.
things, and then
Yeah.
also talk about community. So I think this is just growing the channel. So, and obviously once you do something like that for your own channel, then it gets viral and then it expands a lot.
Very true. But
mm.
one, I think Ruben Truppelman has been a very good, impressive left arm fast bowler throughout this
Mm.
2020 World Cup. Was a bit expensive for Namibia that day, but thoughts on Ruben Truppelman, because he's definitely a
Is it
future for
Trumpelman
Namibia.
or
Definitely,
Trumpelman? Is it Trumpelman?
Trumpelman.
Trumpelman.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
uh,
he has been the
you
Wait,
can pronounce.
bowler.
I think pronounce it either Truppelman or Truppelman. I think.
Trooper.
Truffle man.
Trumpelman.
if
Okay,
if we say Donald Trump, then it should
Donald
be
Trump.
Trumpelman.
oh
Yeah,
gosh.
Trump.
Yeah, Truppelman. Yeah. So
They
thoughts
would
on
be.
him, because so far in this 2020 World Cup, I mean, he's been outstanding. I mean, for Namibia, and I
He
think
couldn't
against that Scotland match, I think he picked up 3 wickets in one
take.
over.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
Yeah.
Aman, thoughts on him because so far he's been really impressive. I think he's picked
Yeah.
up 6 wickets, but his
Hmm.
economy has been decent, except for that Pakistan match. Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing. Who expected Namibia to come in, and even when they come in, they have these bowlers that are going to do well. And Trumpelman was one of them for sure.
Mm.
Very, very, very impressive, and especially because even though it was Scotland that he got that 3 wicket haul, he's still been
Mm,
very impressive. Look at his stats. Afghanistan, which is a very which is a pretty good team these days, actually quite good. Against one against Sri Lanka, which I wouldn't call a good team, but yeah, there you go. It's very, very impressive Namibian, and yeah, hope to see him in. Of course, he need to improve a bit more, but sooner or later, I hope to see him in, like, let's just say, a franchise which will help him a lot.
mm.
Yeah,
I think
Mm.
Namibia
I
have been
expected
quite
a bit more
lucky.
from JJ Smith because
is it?
he was one to watch out for, and everyone was saying
But
him that he's the player to
yeah,
watch out for
you have
Namibia,
to.
but he's been
But
struggling. Yeah.
mostly
Yeah.
you have to give credit to Muhammad Hafiz there. It was just a genius to see him pierce those gaps. I mean, he literally played with the bowler. I don't know what he could have done. I mean, when he bowled outside off stump, he got a boundary to third man. When he bowled on the leg stump, he went across and flipped him through fine leg. So I think credit to Muhammad Hafiz, and I think Smith tried everything which he had. So sometimes the figures or the runs don't show the reality that happened on the ground. And I think this was one of those cases where he tried his best, but I think Hafiz just was too brilliant on the day. Yeah,
Okay, I didn't see this coming
Yeah.
from Aman. He's saying I'm going to Dubai for
I'm going to
semi-final,
Dubai
and
for the
grand
yeah.
final.
semi-final
Maybe you
too
can
as
do a
well.
video
Hello,
for us,
I'm going to try
live
and connect
coverage
from
for
there. If y'all are
the
doing
sports
any watch
breakdown.
alongs or
Yeah.
something,
Aman.
I'll try and connect
Aman, this is
from
not good, buddy.
the
Where
Dubai
is our
place.
tickets? Where is our tickets?
Sorry, I
Where
didn't
is
get
our?
No,
you.
Oh,
you should get tickets
I
to
didn't get
sports
you anything.
background team.
Yeah, you should
yes.
give everyone
Okay,
a
okay.
ticket.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. In a few years, I might get everybody. I'll get tickets for some. I'll do something. I'll do something. Actually, I'll do something. Just look in a few more
Great.
years, and I can actually
Yeah.
If
buy tickets.
So
if you
maybe you
guys
can give
want to
content for all
if
of
you
us.
guys want to see any match in Mohali, just ping me. I can arrange that for you in Mohali.
Yeah, what would be
And
awesome is if, like, this whole sports breakdown team goes to, like, watch a IPL match or something. That would be
yeah,
really good.
that I can get arranged. That's not a problem. I have
I
been
think Sri
going for
Lanka is
years.
touring India probably in February, so you
Yeah,
can
but
arrange
the
tickets
thing is,
for that.
yeah, I think Mohali has one game. So if you guys wanna like go, just maybe if you are touring
Yeah, yeah. I
India.
don't know why we're
Wait,
planning to
even
go, like,
even the plane
abroad. I
tickets?
haven't gone to a cricket match in so
No,
long.
What
that
about the plane
that
tickets?
Finally going to go
I
and
can
watch
get it in
one.
Yeah,
match
that's
ticket.
true. That's true.
I can
Last
get
time
it
I
in
went
match.
was in 2019, the Sri Lanka Bangladesh third
Hmm.
ODI. It's a long time
Yeah, it's
ago.
been
Mm.
quite a while going to a cricket match. Plane.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
let's
but maybe
come back
Aman
to
can
the
give
game.
us updates, do a live
I'll give
video
you
and give
updates. Yeah,
updates. So
but
Yeah,
then I
yeah.
will
because you
be.
have my account as well.
Normally,
Yeah.
Pawan and me spoil it for Dim. Now I'm going to be spoiling it for everybody because I'm going to be seeing it first,
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe you can give us a
and
preview
maybe
and
spoil it.
updates, live updates from the ground itself.
No, no,
Of course,
If you
he
can,
will
yeah.
go live from the stadium. Boom.
I'll go live on stage.
You can go into the media room and then broadcast from there.
But let's
Or then I'll
like
go into the
go to
commentary
the
box and start commentating and say subscribe to the
Yeah.
sports breakdown right now.
Well, let's focus on the match once again. We just went
Yeah.
off topic for a second, taking Aman's comment. But Jan Fricklink and David Weiss, both of them picking up 1 wicket. I mean, the economy was not
Mm,
bad. Especially
I
David
think
Weiss has
it's
had a brilliant impact for
I think
Namibia.
it's
One, of, I
Freelink,
think.
Pawan. Gosh, we're
Right.
Okay,
terrible at
Freelink. Yeah.
pronouncing these names. We're terrible at
Yes, but
pronouncing these names.
talk about David Weiss. I mean, he had a brilliant
They
CPL.
wow.
He will
I feel
definitely
like
he might be
I
picked for
feel like
IPL
I'm
team for
really,
sure
really
next
taking
year.
back the words I said before the qualifiers. If you don't remember, on Aryan's channel, I said he's not going to perform, and the opposite has just happened. The literal opposite.
I think
Mm-hmm.
several of your opposite things have happened. Oh, except for the I mean, Sri Lanka beating Bangladesh. That has been true so far from Aman, that
Yeah,
prediction.
let's see if
Oh,
we
and
can
what
beat
about
West
the
That,
Indies today.
Afghanistan? They're probably not going to qualify, but Afghanistan, I said that they might they'll have a good chance of qualifying. So that's a possibility.
yeah, we'll see what
Yeah.
happens with the next
West Indies
matches
winning
coming
the
up,
World Cup is
especially
not
New
going to
Zealand
happen,
versus
no?
Afghanistan.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's move on. Yeah, what else?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
what
move
about
on to Namibia. I
what's
mean, we
this
spoke
Namibia?
much about Namibia's bowling, but now the batting. I mean, once again, Craig Williams, David Weiss, Stephen Bard I mean, not a good start from Namibia, but after that,
I have to go for like 20 minutes, but I'll come back.
yeah, sure, sure, no problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll come back. I'll come
yeah,
back.
sure. But yeah, Aryan, about Craig Williams and especially David Weiss's brilliant ending. I
Hmm.
know that Namibia couldn't actually get that 190 target, but at least being the lowest ranked team before this 2020 World Cup and to perform this well, yeah.
I
Thoughts on
think
that,
I
yeah.
think he's one of those players along with Gerard Erasmus, who looks organized to me, very organized at the crease. Someone who can accumulate runs, with single doubles and the odd boundary, and his strike rate suggests the same. It's a type of one-day innings that he played, 108 strike rate, 5 fours, 1 6, and we know David Visa what he can do, and his strike rate is around 140. So there are some prospects. I think in the future these batsmen will learn to convert the starts into big scores because um, this is important if you want to get the targets. I think 160 was the max I was looking at Namibia to chase. Once it went past 160, I knew that well, it might be a bit too much for Namibia. Yeah.
Yeah,
Namibia
but
has the bowling and the batting to compete, but it's just the lack of experience that is hindering them at the moment. And also, if you look at the players, most of them are in their early 20s. I mean, other than Craig Williams, Richard Stallworth, and David Wiese. So they have a bright future.
very true, yeah. But coming to the bowling of Pakistan, Imad Wasim has been very impressive in that India match also. In this match also, he picked up 1 for 13. Shine Shah Afridi went a bit expensive in this match, but Hassan Ali, everyone criticized him. He comes back to form, somehow picks up 1 wicket. His economy was good, but at least his economy wasn't expensive in this match. Thoughts on the Pakistan bowling performance, Bhaskar sir? Especially, I know that this
No,
attack is the most consistent, obviously, but talking about this bowling attack of Pakistan, your thoughts? Yeah.
yeah, so I think this was like a regular performance. I think Afridi we saw in the other match also, against Afghanistan. He tried to bowl too fast, and then his line and length was not there. And that's why he kind of sprays it out. But I was actually very surprised that in this match they did not bowl Hafiz and even Shoaib Malik for more overs, because this was a
Mm,
time where they could have tried different options in trying to see how they perform. So I think Hafiz is definitely the sixth bowling option which they have right now. I think I don't know whether Shoaib Malik will bowl ever or he's not going to bowl in this tournament. So this was a time where they could have tried out the Shoaib Malik also. But I think their pattern is quite set. Imran Wasim comes and bowls during the power play, and then two left armers starting in that way. So I think the Pakistan's bowling, there's not much to be read right now, because they may have an off day, but right now the way Haris Rauf and both Afridi are bowling so fast, they seem to have everything in order. Yeah.
I mean, also I think that's a reason why they may have not bowled the likes of Shoaib Malik and Hafiz more overs, maybe due to uh, the ability. I mean, how well Namibia played. I mean, Stephen Bard, Gerard, Craig Williams, and David Beasley, they were batting really well, and uh, at one moment I thought they could have even gone on to win the match with how well they were batting. So probably they may have forced them to go to the normal rule.
mm, very true. Yeah, and seeing the
Yeah.
wagon
So
wheel of
this
both
Imad
Rizwan
Wasim
and
also is yeah.
yeah, one for
So I was
13
just
is
looking at
only goal
Imad
of.
Wasim, and you. Yeah. So, but you look at it also that he only bowled to right hand batsmen. So that is what we
Mm,
call matchups, right? That he
yeah.
was bowling to only right hand batsmen all the time. So obviously he had a favorable matchup, and then he can perform. And I think that is something which is coming out in this World Cup. That like left armers, like yesterday also, like the big mistake they made. Scotland was that they got an off spinner when two right handers were there, and then the match just went away.
Hmm.
Aryan, do you think anyone can stop Rizwan and Baba Azam right now in their form? I mean, these two, I don't know. They are they are the best openers so far in the 2020 World Cup. Do you see a team that can actually stand a chance to get both of these two
Mhm.
out earlier, because against India also they won the match easily,
One minute,
100.
1 minute. I'll just answer you and let me close the door behind background noise.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah. So till then, Venuju, do you
Right.
think
Yeah.
anyone can stop these two opening pairs right now? And then I'll direct to
Pakistan,
Aryan
yeah,
as well. Yeah,
Pakistan have a great opening pair,
Yeah,
but
sorry for
I
that
mean,
background
you
noise.
can, Aryan, you can
But
take over if you want.
yeah, Aryan, you can take up. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, if we look at this partnership, I mean, opening partnerships need to first of all be very settled and they need to be given the opportunity. So once they started opening together, I mean, they obviously have 500 partnerships, and which suggests that they have been batting for a quite long time, together. And if you can just go to the wagon wheels again of
yeah,
both
sure, no problem.
Power and
Yeah,
Rizwan,
yeah,
even though we say left-right combination, and I think that is something teams try and bring, but Pakistan have two right-handers at the top. These two have different scoring areas. If you see Babar, he plays pretty much straight batted, and he doesn't really use the wrist to flick it behind square leg or behind fine leg like Rizwan does. He's got 33 runs in that region because even full tosses, he has such strong wrist. If he, I don't know if he saw one shot, I don't know of who it was. He just flicked it and behind square and it
yeah,
went for a flat six. So
mm,
we know Rizwan is a keeper, and keepers love to bat and sweep. So that is their like pet shot. And Babar is a very conventional batsman. So even though they are two right-handers, they have different playing styles, and that is something that bowlers I think find tough to adjusting. And the aggressor and the container role is obviously switched according to the situation, and I think the camaraderie between them is excellent. So right now, I think the most prolific pair, along with the likes of Rahul and Rohit, obviously many others in the T20 format, but they are right on top as far as
mm.
opening partnerships going around are concerned.
Yeah.
And congrats to Baba Azam also becoming the number one 2020 batsman, also, as Aryan mentioned earlier, because he's been pretty impressive for Pakistan. I mean, for the past 2 years, and especially credit should go to Mickey Arthur also for the previous Pakistan coach for molding him and making him a leader. And the current and Matthew Hayden also, by the way, the batting consultant, and Mushtaq Ahmed and Abdul Rasad
Cylinder.
as the head coaches. Yeah, right now for giving him more confidence and ensuring
Especially in Mushtaq.
giving
If you can,
making the
if you can
yeah,
just go to his scores, recent scores, that
yeah,
graphic
sure,
which
yeah,
gets pulled off.
All
yeah,
low 50s.
Yeah. So if you see how
He's so
many
consistent.
failures are there, hardly one or two, right? Mostly he gets
yeah,
50s like every second game or every third game. That is ridiculous, and that is something we expect from a Virat Kohli here in India. That he'll be consistent, and he is consistent. I mean not comparing, but I think Babar is getting to that level which Kohli, well, he is still. And when Kohli started, I think Bhaskar sir can agree, he was bloody consistent. He basically made runs for fun, and I think Babar is now at that stage on which Kohli has gone through, where he obviously scores in every game and the expectation is there. So I think he's in a purple patch for a long time, and I think the consistency, he should be given credit for that because not many can do it, especially in the T20 format like this. So yeah, he's on a
Do you
different
all
level
think,
right now.
yeah, do you all think that he's so consistent because of the way he plays? I mean, he
Hmm.
normally consumes a lot of balls, and I mean, strike rate is not that kind of strike rate you
mhm,
expect from a T20 player, and he just
Mhm.
tries to accumulate balls and try to occupy the crease. Is that a
Uh,
reason why he's been so consistent?
yes and no as well. Yes, because that is the way he likes to build his innings. If you say Babar go and hit from the first ball, I think he might not be able to do that. He needs a bit of a time, and if he's there, then the whole team gets confident. Then the dressing room is very confident, and others around him score. So you see the team score getting higher. So eventually, him being there is helping the team because the likes of Fakar Zaman, Mohammad Hafiz, they can come and express themselves knowing that Babar Azam is at the other end. and we at least one end is secured. So that is a huge confidence booster for the whole batting order if the skipper is out there. And I think his playing style, benefits everyone from Rizwan to even Asif Ali for that matter. Yeah.
I think, yeah, just adding on to that, the opening pair has basically hidden the fragilities in his batting order because they're usually
True.
what do you call
Actually
it,
true.
prone to collapses, and
Hmm.
these two openers taking their time
True.
accumulating the runs slowly has probably is one of the reasons for success. And I would really like to see a match in which these two openers go out cheaply, and I would love to see how the middle order handles it. So that's going to be
Yeah.
the true test of Pakistan, and to see, and
Yeah.
that will decide on to how well they perform in the World Cup.
Hmm.
I think they'll be tested really well, I think, in the semi-finals or finals. But right now in the group stages, I don't think they have one match left against Scotland. So let's see. Yeah, we never know because Scotland also troubled New Zealand. By the way, remembering about that match also. Even though New Zealand won the match yesterday, it was a really really tight match over there. New Zealand versus Scotland. Even though New Zealand won it at last somehow, New Zealand at one stage. Sorry, Scotland at one stage were okay. I mean, 2 wickets down for 75 or something, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, unfortunate
So
for
53,
Scotland
it was
yesterday.
scored for
Yeah,
53.
Yeah.
I think
So
the
thoughts on
Scotland
this match
game,
and
this month. Yeah,
yeah,
so I think this match, very close match. Again, batting first is a
Hmm.
disadvantage in that way, and I think obviously they got lucky with Kane Williamson edging down the
Yeah,
leg side.
down the leg
But
side.
I
Yeah.
think, but I
leg
think
side. Yeah.
Scotland they've actually overperformed. But this is where when the match was under their control, right? They made some questionable bowling changes, especially getting Lee Skin instead of Watts
Hmm.
off spinner to right handers, and then that's when Kapil started hitting, and
Hmm.
And
Glenn
I
Phillips
think
was
one.
struggling all through. In fact,
Yeah, sorry to
yeah,
interrupt. I think they dropped. I think one catch of Duptill. I think in a crucial moment. I think Scottish fielder did drop
yeah, they dropped
Guptill.
both of them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, they dropped. I think Lisk dropped both of them. He dropped
Hmm.
Yeah,
Phillips
but I
first, and
think,
then
yeah, Phillips was an easy one because he covered the ground. But Guptill
Yeah.
he was like trying to push the ball inside the boundary and he was getting into that position. So
yeah, yeah. So
it was a
he
50-50 chance. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I think the Guptill one he misjudged and you were not there,
Hmm.
but the first one. But I think so. In my view, the match there were two key changes. Obviously, the drop catches were there, but besides that, tactically, I think one bowling off spinners at that time that the momentum totally shifted. And I think
Hmm.
when Scotland was batting and Munzi were batting so well against, and he was the only left-hander in the top order, right? And if you look at the
Hmm.
two spinners which New Zealand had, both Sodhi and Saturn taking the ball away from right-handers into the left-hander. That is a matchup which they lost because after that, even though Matthew Cross hit 5 fours to Adam Mill and he hit 2 sixes, I think if you look at the spinners economy rate, you just go to New Zealand economy rate or spinners.
Yeah.
Can you go
Sure.
down? Pawan?
Sodhi was expensive. He was the most expensive.
He
Yeah.
Yes.
was quite expensive, but he did
I
get
mean,
two
Shodi was
wickets.
expensive.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you look, so Sodhi was expensive because he got really hit by Manzi at the start, but Startner did not
Hmm.
even bowl to the left-hander at all, and he really stemmed that way. So and Sodhi also when even when he was getting hit, it was under the rate because the rate at that time had reached 12-13 in that way.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I think Scotland could have made it. I think they eventually lost by 15 runs, right, or 12 runs.
16,
15 runs.
16.
15 runs. Yeah.
Yeah, 16 runs. So
But
yeah, this
I
was one
think
match
King
which.
Saudi was the I mean, the field of the day. Brilliant catch to
Yeah, good
dismiss
catch.
Muncie, I
Munzi,
think. If
yeah.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what a catch from Saudi off at long on to get that catch. I mean, brilliant stuff from Saudi with the ball
Pawan,
also getting
talking
wickets. Yeah.
about the catches, I'm fast forwarding here, but yesterday I didn't see Jadeja. I saw Cheetah in the field. I mean that effort was, oh my
Yeah, we
god,
need to
best
discuss
effort.
about that also. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll discuss. But I don't know how that was. At least for the effort, give it out now. Even if it
Mm,
is not out, for the
No,
effort,
I think
give it.
yeah.
when the ball was going from his right hand to the left hand, I think it
It
touched the
yeah,
ground. Like,
it like went on the ground and then ricocheted into his hand. That is the replay that they showed. But I think 30 meters in 5 seconds, less than 5 seconds. That was the
Mm.
area he covered.
That's insane.
27, I think. 27 meters. Yeah. But fielding has
Yeah.
been really good. I mean, there has been drop catches also, but fielding standard compared to the IPL,
Hmm.
I think it has been
Good.
considered really good. Yeah, that's a good positive for, I mean, most of the teams. Yeah, because we have seen some exceptional catches so far in the 2020 World Cup. So
Mhm.
hope to see that improve even more further. But talk about Guptill's innings, coming back to form, getting 93. I mean, he was struggling a bit for New Zealand for innings. It was Mitchell who was actually controlling the, I mean, more than Guptill. But yesterday, Guptill coming back to form with those sixes, seven sixes, six fours, going through his wagon wheel as well. Benuja, thoughts on Guptill's innings yesterday?
Yeah,
As you
that
can
was a
see,
huge,
heavily on the leg side, sorry, offside yesterday. Yes.
that was a huge relief for New Zealand. He hasn't been in his best form for New Zealand as well as franchise cricket over the past couple of months, and the New Zealand dressing room will be really pleased with this batting performance, and given that they have more crunch games to follow up with Afghanistan, especially with Afghanistan, who have a really good bowling attack. So their batting has to be at the best for the game. So it was nice to see it come to form.
Yeah, but Aryan, I think everyone was questioning Guptill's form, especially in that India matches, so the way he got dismissed of Bumrah, the slower delivery of 20. So everyone was
Hmm.
questioning when will Guptill come back to form, whether he should be dropped, and he
But
replies with
I think
this
the credit
93
here
mark.
needs to be given to the New Zealand management and the captain Kane Williamson for sticking with him, sticking with his experience, and trusting that there will be a day where he'll come to form. Because uh, if we go back a few years now in Asia, Dubai, subcontinent, he hasn't really performed. To be
Hmm.
honest,
Yeah.
before this innings, overall his record is I don't know, decent, not even decent in Asia. But this innings is, like even I just said, huge relief for New Zealand because before the tournament in the preview, we all said Williamson is there, but yes, Guptill is your second most experienced batsman, and he needs to come to the fore. But I think he's come to form at right time because Afghanistan is their next game. It's a virtual knockout, so New Zealand would be really pleased to see their second senior most batsman come to form. And as it says, his reach is good, and I actually saw him for a short innings live in the stadium playing for Punjab. I mean, he obviously likes to attack spinners, and that time Amit Mishra and Shadab Nadeem were bowling. So the mid wicket region was his favorite then, and it is now. So yes, a good innings for Guptill and positives for New Zealand overall. Yes, that game.
And I think even Glenn Phillips' cameo also was necessary, even though his strike rate was less than 100, which I mean should have been a bit, would have improved a bit. But Glenn Phillips also contributed a bit with the runs. Yeah,
Yeah.
170 is par, I mean, on this score. But Scotland,
Yeah. I
meanwhile,
think I think what New Zealand should do is that promote Nisham over Phillips, because then at least they have a left-hander, right-hander in the middle. Because right now what is happening is that their top, obviously Conway got out. So if Conway is playing, then Phillips can come. But if Conway gets out, then you should get Nisham up Phillips, because yesterday also the reason why the Phillips was struggling was, and I think we can look at head-to-head, because Watts were just bowling the ball outside off stump, and then he had nowhere to hit, and the longer boundary he could not target, right? So given the dimensions of the field plus the ball going away, the left hander has to be there, right? In order to balance both the sides.
And also just a stat, that was Conway's lowest score across 17 T20I.
okay. Could you repeat that? I think I couldn't hear that. What about
I
Conway,
mean,
right? Yeah.
yeah, that was Conway's lowest T20I score across 17 matches.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is a bit
Yeah, he's
surprising,
averaging
especially with
100
Scotland
odd.
also. Yeah, especially with Scotland also. But from Scotland's bowling, I mean, Sharif has been a big plus. I mean, for this Scottish bowling attack, because 2 for 28. I think he did well for the previous matches as well. Especially Mark Watt impressed all of us. Also, 1 for 13 only, 3.25 economy, 4 overs
Yes,
against the New Zealand side,
yes.
especially. Yeah,
He
Basketball
bowled,
thoughts
I
on
think,
I
the
that.
think let's talk
17th
about
over.
Yeah. So I'll talk about
Go on, go
Sharif
on,
first.
Ganesh.
Sharif actually had only 2 runs in the first 2 overs. And I think
Hmm.
he had a bad third over where he went for like 14 runs, and then he came last over obviously went for around 10 runs. So I think Sharif obviously was bowling very well, and with the 2 wickets he took off both Mitchell and Williamson obviously put the stronghold in that way. Watts, I think
Yeah.
he has bowled under 24, under 25. He has not gone for run a ball in any match, I think. For all the
Hmm.
matches, he's under run a ball. I think his worst analysis is 1 for 23. So I think
Yeah.
what Watts does is that he obviously has two things. One, he's obviously bowling Yorker, a left armer, round the wicket, over the wicket, depending on the batsman he's done, targeting the legs or the wide Yorkers. And the thing, the variation which he has is not about the flight, but from where he bowls. So sometimes he bowls behind the umpire, sometimes 24 yards, 23 yards, and that makes very tough for a batsman to actually judge what is there. Obviously, he's like strong on the shoulder and putting in that way and bowling to his field. So I think he is one player who would impress the most. And in fact, again, Afghanistan, also when they went for 190, he was the best bowler by far.
Hmm. Yeah, left arm orthodox. Yeah, he's also startled me also in this tournament. Especially this Scottish bowling attack is impressive, and I hope they. I mean, unfortunately, they lost to Namibia, but I mean, this side has a long way, and I think hopefully, the Scottish side can do well in the future. Yeah, but when you come into leagues, I think I mean, only bowl one. No, he's a frontline bowler. Obviously, he didn't bowl that many overs and was given Chris Greaves instead to bowl 3 overs. So thoughts on that? I mean, Scotland did have few mistakes with their tactics, right? Yeah. So thoughts on that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Leeds indeed was quite expensive in that over, going for 12
Yeah.
runs. But I mean, putting his bowling aside, his batting was pretty impressive. I mean, not just in this game, and during previous games, he
Hmm.
scored 50, I think. So I think the story for Scotland has been where bowlers, especially spin bowlers, have gone on to become proper batsmen. Even Greaves, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
In that
Chris
match, in
Greaves.
that
Yeah.
qualification match against Oman, I think. Oman, right? I think he scored a 70 odd and uh,
Yeah.
with boost, and
Yeah.
yeah, gave helped Scotland to win the match. So yeah, he is indeed a good one to look forward to in the future.
Hmm. Yeah, Bhaskar sir, talking about the Scotland betting also for a second. Yeah, I mean, leaks obviously saved. I mean, brought to Scotland close. Unfortunately, they didn't go at a proper 100, but they were going so well. I think they were 66. I think 76 for three after 10.5. Before that, they were 75 for two in that 10 overs. Where was the collapse? I
Yeah.
mean, this middle order, especially
I
Callum
think
McLeod. Yeah,
no, I think the Saturn was over, right? When he came over and then he bowled it for like under 20 runs, and when that
yeah,
average requirement run rate was like very
yeah.
high. So you look at it, that yeah, so under six he was bowling, and that is where the
Hmm.
gap fell. So what I got from this one match was that obviously they could Mill they attacked and Suri they attacked, but I think their inability to attack Bolt was one of the key things in that way. So overall, I think New Zealand they needed, in my view, one big over. Which never came. Like it came, but the
That's
sixth
true.
over when it came, they were already behind the rate, and then when List started hitting, the run rate was very high. So they needed around 13, 14 for one very big over, which when Satner were bowling, and they could not get it. And I think there was lack of left-handers in the lineup. Yeah.
And Bhaskar, I want to ask, why is everyone struggling against Mitchell Sadner? Because in that India match also, I think he only went for 15 runs in that match. And in this game also, he's gone only for 23 runs. So what's so special about Sadner, and why are they struggling against a left-arm spinner this much? I mean, most of the sides right now.
So I think two reasons. First, obviously, like we have talked about the right-hander batting in that way, and then if you look at how Satner is bowling, he's
Yeah,
not bowling. And if you look at his length, right, which he was bowling,
yeah,
he's never bowls full, right? They are just bowling short of the length, spinning away, and always bowling to a big boundary, right? So they're the combination of things. So it's not only good bowling; it is about matchup. It is about the which side of the boundary you're batting. So it's very difficult to hit these guys like because the ball is spinning away, you have to hit towards a longer boundary, so they choose the right side. And then also Satner, both of the times when he has come in all the matches, there have been early wickets. Even against Pakistan, Rizwan and Babar got out. So he's coming at the right phase where he has no pressure. So and we saw that Mark Watts also doing the same thing. So I think this has been a very ideal scenario for Shatner in this thing, and they're just playing the matchup well. I think he would have bowled like 80-90% of his deliveries to right-handers. Like if you look at his
Mm.
map overall.
Yeah, so there's good
Yeah.
captaincy
So
from Shane Williamson over there. Yeah. And Trent Bolt, obviously, he
yeah.
fires always 2 for 29, getting two crucial wickets. Saudi also was good yesterday, getting cross out. Thoughts on Bolt and Saudi, Venuj? I mean, they obviously the two main. Okay, Venuja went, yeah. But Bhaskar, sir, thoughts on yeah, these two paces, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that Saudi, obviously the catch. I think he had a very big contribution in the match because when that catch he took about Munzi, that changed the match. And then when Cross was going really great guns in terms of like taking five boundaries of Mill, he actually actually before he bowled him, he actually bowled four dot balls. So and then he bowled a nice in dipper, pitching at the right length, and it looked like the ball straight low, but there was huge amount of swing. So I think
Yeah.
Saudi is one bowler who bowls very well at the middle. I think so. I think he should continue to bowl in the middle after six over. I don't think he's a very good death bowler, and I think at top he's there. So I think New Zealand, what they have also got options, right? Jamieson is not playing right now for them, so somebody who can come up and maybe take the early over. But right now, what they are banking is pace of Mill and then obviously Bolt and Saudi. So they are going to experience lineup, and I think batting wise also Mill and Saudi can perform. So
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Venuja, you said you have to go, right?
No, no, I just came, but I may have to go in
Okay,
after
sure, no
some time, but
problem. Yeah.
now
yeah, I have to go actually now. So yeah,
Okay, no problem. Yeah,
so
sure,
I
sure,
will
Bhaskar.
leave now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay,
We
thanks
had
a
to
lot.
discuss.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you so much for coming today. Yeah, Bhaskar, sir. Yeah. But we had to discuss about the most important match, India versus Afghanistan as well. But let's take Shankar sir's comments first. He said New Zealand has the
I have to
worst
go,
batting
guys.
lineup. Okay, sure, sure. Okay, no problem, Manisha. Yeah. So I'll take the question. Yeah, Shankar here says New Zealand has the worst batting lineup. Has Guptill's catch been taken early, they would have been in a precarious position. Yeah, I totally agree that New Zealand would have been in deep, deep trouble if actually Leaks got the catch of Guptill. And yeah, I mean that was a big loss over there. Yeah, let's quickly go through the last match. Obviously India winning, and let's go through the previews. We had such a long near the 1 hour mark already. So you see, Rohit Sharma just the man of the match for his 74 of 47. India registered their first win in the 2020 World Cup 2021. So let's go through this match, which brilliant partnership. Rohit and no words to say about this partnership between Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul, because I mean, not crucial partnership. It was a outstanding, brilliant opening partnership. And anyone who wants to come, the link is sent to analyze on this game between India and India and Afghanistan. Yes, but brilliant opening partnership, as you can see from Rohit and KL. I think it was a 140 run partnership, outstanding from both these two. And we go through their statistics also. Along, I think definitely it's going to be both of them. Yeah, you see, yes. See, most Rohit Sharma, three sixes, eight fours. Most of his shots were on the leg side. It's surprising because usually Rohit Sharma, his shots usually plays the pull shot, his slog shot. Usually he plays that in the legs. Sorry, in the offside. But today, I mean, yesterday's match, we saw a difference in Rohit Sharma's wagon wheel, because usually his runs usually dominates in the offside. But today, yesterday's match, surprisingly, his runs, most of them came off the leg side. So good change of tactics, especially with Afghanistan seam bowlers and Navin Al Haq, and Karim Janat also were playing most of his shots on the offside, and playing the his most signature shot, obviously. playing sixes also. I mean, his cover drives obviously. So that's a good change, because usually he plays the flick shot, he plays the pull shot. That's where he dominates. But he has changed his tactics yesterday, and you played his cover drive shots and his slog shots, so that worked in favor of Rohit Sharma. And KL Rahul also contributed really well, 90% control, and most of his shots were on the offside, as offside, compared to Rohit Sharma's dominance in the leg side. I think around 33 plus 8, 41 runs on the leg side. So that's good. That's good from India yesterday. Crucial, brilliant opening partnership, very crucial. I mean, this win was very crucial. And don't forget Hardik Pandya and Rishabh Pant. Hardik Pandya is coming back to form, which is very great to see. Hardik Pandya's finish yesterday proved big positives for India, in my opinion. 35 of 13, 269 strike rate, outstanding, bringing him to number 4. Rishabh Pant is number 3. Two finishers for India, good approach by India, and it worked. So great thing from from India and Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli. At last, they got their tactics well without bringing Virat Kohli in. After the 17th over, brought Pandya and Pant, and things worked. Afghanistan very disappointing. I know comments. There are comments going on. Afghanistan fix this match. Afghanistan. I mean, these Afghan players underperformed yesterday. They got money from India. From the BCCI yesterday. I disagree. I think India just were in the zone yesterday, especially Rahul and Rohit. If you don't get them out during the opening few overs, they are in the zone. And especially big mistake not bringing in Rashid Khan earlier for me in the power play. That was a big mistake for me, because Rashid Khan bringing him in the middle overs, especially when these Indian batsmen are settled, it's not the ideal scenario in my opinion. And yeah, shocking choice from Mohammad Nabi. I was disappointed Mohammad Nabi didn't bowl more overs. Can't give that much blame from Sharafuddin Ashraf, replacement for um, who Asghar Afghan, obviously. So yeah, can't give that much blame for him. Naveen Al Haq, very expensive. He's the most experienced. He bowls so well against Pakistan. Going for 59 runs is unacceptable. And Rohit and Rahul got his weakness, and they just dominated over Naveen Al Haq. And this is why highest ever score in the World Cup so far, 2020 World Cup, 210 for the loss of 2 wickets. So outstanding work from Rohit Sharma, especially coming had a point to prove, and he proved it. Very vital, especially losing his opening spot also. In the previous match against New Zealand. He had to prove a point. He proved it. Obviously, he is. That's why I said you can't leave Rohit Sharma out of this match. Even if Ishan Kishan is in form, he's opening. He performed well for Mumbai Indians as opener. You cannot leave Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul out of this side, as I said earlier also. Afghanistan do have to improve a bit. Very poor. I think Karim Janat should have bowled more overs, because he got Rohit Sharma out, just bowling him one over. Very poor tactics from Afghanistan, and especially from Mohammad Nabi. I thought Afghanistan, when they won the toss, they'll definitely win the match and cause India some troubles, but very disappointing overall performance from them. Talking about Afghanistan innings, brilliant timing from Ravindra Jadeja. That what Aryan mentioned also. 27 meters covered less than 30 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. Good, nearly got the catch also, if I'm not mistaken. So brilliant work from Ravindra Jadeja over there yesterday. Excellent fielding from India, but very poor start from Afghanistan. Obviously, Zazai and Shazad didn't open well. Zazai getting out cheaply. Mohammad Shazad was struggling. Only big positive is Karim Janat yesterday brought Afghanistan to 144 at least one stage. They were 69 for 5. That's how bad Afghanistan thought. Everyone was thinking India will finish this match very quickly, get Afghanistan all out for 99 or below, and get a very high net run rate. And that didn't happen. Afghanistan gave a good fight, but even though they lost the match by 66 runs, I mean, not good, a good performance from Afghanistan. I won't say that, but in the middle overs, good comeback from Afghanistan, being in the position they were, 69 for 5, I think, after 11.5, 12 overs. Good fight back from Afghanistan at the end. Not impressed at the beginning, because they could have easily chased this total if the opening pair had been 12. If Goodbars didn't get out, brilliant fielding by Hardik Pandya, by the way. That catch to get Goodbars out in deep mid on, brilliant catch from him at the boundary. So credit should go to India fielding yesterday, because they were simply good. Um, Ashwin picking up 2 wickets. Good to see him back after 4 years in the white ball format. That's great to see Ashwin back, and he got crucial wickets. I think Ashwin should have played against New Zealand, in my opinion, instead of Varun Chakrabarti. This Ashwin, very experienced bowler, and why would you leave him out of the playing 11? I don't get it, because he had an impact yesterday and very crucial. And seeing the bowling also, Shami yesterday, good performance after all that criticism against Pakistan and New Zealand. Gave a fight back, did well. 3 wickets, very crucial wickets, getting Nabi House out, crucial from him. Ravichandran Ashwin, brilliant bowling from him. 3.5 on his economic, 2 for 14 off his 4 overs. Good work from him yesterday. Shardul Thakur, expensive. I don't know what's to be done with this guy. MS Dhoni brought him. He's not contributing. Very expensive yesterday. Jadeja obviously contributing with the field, with the bat. Sorry, not with the bat, with the field and with the bowling. So that's positives. Hardik Pandya bowled 2 overs, which I expected, but a bit expensive. Jasprit Bumrah, standout bowler for me, most consistent bowler for India. So, good news for India. Man of the match, obviously, Rohit Sharma. Yeah. So yes, I think we went through everything. We'll just go through the statistics as well. We went through the batting, so we'll go through the bowling, best performance as a bowler, and the partnerships. Yeah. Mohammad Shami, as you can see, bowled most to left-handers, didn't get wickets, but see, full length, short, good length. He got 2 wickets of full length, which he bowled to left-handers as well, so that's good. And 1 wicket of short of good length. Ashwin was brilliant. Right-handers, left-handers, no matter what. 2 for 14, very crucial bowler for me. I think big mistake from India to not give Ashwin a chance against New Zealand and Pakistan, in my opinion. Ashwin is way better than Varun Chakrabarti. I'm telling you, Varun Chakrabarti, if he played against Afghanistan, he'll be hammered. I'm telling you, he would have gone for runs. And Ashwin gives you that control, and he'll definitely, against any opponent, he'll somehow control the economy. Less than 6. We saw that with Delhi Capitals also in the IPL, and in this match also he performed. So give Ashwin more opportunities in the coming up matches against Scotland and Namibia, and he'll perform. He'll perform for sure. I'm giving that an assurance right now. Yeah. As you can see here, partnerships, very crucial partnership at the start from Rohit and Rahul. Considering what India were, the state of how they were in that match against New Zealand, getting 110 only. A crucial finish from Pandya and Pant is expected. As Afghanistan, no partnership was going on whatsoever, except for that Nabi and Janat partnership 57. So yes, but great fielding effort by Ravindra Jadeja. Once again, I have to mention that 27 meters, if I'm not mistaken, in less than 30 seconds. I think in 5 seconds he covered 27 meters. So that's brilliant. And Team India, meanwhile, hasn't lost a match when Rohit Sharma has scored 50 plus scores. So that's a big positive to everyone. Yeah. To cover that is just brilliant. 27 meters only in just 5 seconds. Outstanding work from Ravindra Jadeja yesterday. Yeah, so we covered all 4 matches. Let's do the preview for today. And by the way, we'll be doing from the 15th over of the first innings, we'll do a watch along of West Indies versus Sri Lanka. I won't be doing a preview before that. Let's go through today's matches. Australia versus Bangladesh. We'll quickly do this and wrap things up because we've gone over the 1 hour mark, obviously. Australia versus Bangladesh today. Australia have won 5, Bangladesh have won 4. is taking place in Dubai. Obviously, Australia having the edge. I think 95% probability that Australia will win today, in my opinion. And if I'm making changes against this Bangladesh side, um, I mean, obviously, Aaron Finch and David Warner going to open. Number three comes Mittelmarsh was not in the previous match. Maybe I'll bring in Mittelmarsh back. I just want that assurance. I would bring in Mittelmarsh since he has performed well against Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, he knows the Bangladeshi bowlers. I would bring in Mittelmarsh at number three, Glenn Maxwell at number four. Steve Smith at number four, Glenn Maxwell at number five, number six, Toynis. Number seven, I'll bring in Matthew Wade. Today, since it's Bangladesh, I want to see Nathan Ellis in this squad. Nathan Ellis has a chance, maybe. Otherwise, Pat Cummins can't be dropped. Mitchell Stark has to play. Josh Hazelwood or Nathan Ellis, I think, because Bangladesh are struggling right now, and I think Nathan Ellis will be a good choice over here. And obviously, Adam Zampa is the lone spinner, in my opinion, with Maxwell. That combination has worked. Bangladesh, meanwhile, have so much to sort out, but um, I think it's the same 11 for them. I don't see changes happening in this Bangladesh side since Shakib is out. I would rather settle with the same playing 11 for Bangladesh right now. Obviously, Mohammad Naeem and actually Nitin Das, he should not open. He should bat at number four. So maybe Mohammad Naeem and uh, who is Sumar Sakal to open. Number three, I'll bring in number three. I'll bring in Noor Hassan actually. Number four, I'll bring in Litan Das. Number five, Musfika Rahim, obviously. Number six, I like to see Asif Hussain. Number seven, I'll bring in Mehdi Hassan. My four bowlers will be Shariful Islam, Taskin Ahmed. Since it's Dubai, Musfifa Rahim should play for sure. My other spinner, I think I will go with Nasum Ahmed, even though he was expensive. I will still back Nasum Ahmed to play in this game. Yeah, so that's my playing 11. But Shakib is a big loss, obviously, for Bangladesh right now, and very, very big loss. So as you can see, head to head, they played only 9 matches. Australia obviously going as the favorites. Bangladesh just won their 3-1 series. That's why they've won 4 matches right now because of their recent series against Australia. Conditions in Dubai, I think it will favor fast bowlers. I think today, considering the pitch, yeah. We went through that match. Let's just go through the pitch report. Let's see how the Dubai weather is right now. Yeah, one person is watching. Please, guys. Anyone who's watching right now, yeah. Wait, the link is sent, so please join. Yeah. Sorry for this headband. Actually, it's not Aman's idea. I'm not copywriting anyone. It's just of my style. I just wanted to wear this today. So yeah, as you can see, pitch in Dubai has a bag of sorts and has been not been favorable for batters. Yes, I completely agree with that. Today they're saying not interrupted by rain. Overall weather conditions should be good. Overall weather of Dubai could be dry, and temperature is expected to be 33 to 36. So as you can see, yes, I went with. Oh, sorry, I forgot Mahmudullah. Mahmudullah should be playing this side. I'm so sorry. I forgot about that. I left out the captain for Bangladesh. I'm really, really, really sorry about that. Yeah, Mahmudullah should be playing, and obviously, who Noor Hassan won't be playing. Yeah. But yes, pitch report says paces should get some movement, and this should keep the batters honest. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be challenging for batters obviously today. Yeah. Let's go through the final match, which is Sri Lanka versus West Indies. Sri Lanka and West Indies both have won 7 matches out of their 14. I think not good memories for Sri Lanka. They lost to West Indies in the 2012 2020 World Cup, long time back. Um, but in the recent series, 2-1 to West Indies also. And Sri Lanka have not been good against West Indies in 2020 matches in recent years, losing at home and away also in the last 2 years. So, not good signs. But I think this time, I think Sri Lanka have a good chance with Banidhu Hasaranga in good form, currently number one ranked 2020 player. Then Mahesh Deekshana could be a big surprise. West Indies really struggled against spin. So as I said, I'm going to do a watch along today. So this is the preview of West Indies versus Sri Lanka. I think uh, the favor. I think Sri Lanka have this in the bag. I think West Indies are struggling, and even though West Indies are in contention of qualifiers, I think Sri Lanka will win this match. I'm backing my boys, obviously. So don't get me wrong, but 5 2020's last matches, four of them have been won by West Indies. So that's a bit of a concern. But for me, I'm not that much concerned of Sri Lanka's recent form, because in this 2020 World Cup they have been different. So I'll just type in my playing 11 for Sri Lanka right now. Give me a second. Yeah. So I will obviously go with Patum. Um, I'll actually bringing Chandimal for this match. KJP's form hasn't impressed me. I'm going to make one change. I'm going to bring Chandimal back to my form, to my side, playing 11. I'm going to bring him back. Number three, I'm going to go with Asalanka, obviously, who's been an outstanding player for Sri Lanka. So I'm going to bring in Asalanka at number three. My number four player will be who comes at number four usually. I think it's sorry, I've forgotten my players a lot. This is a worry. Yeah, number four, I think Avishka. Actually, this match, I'm going to make quite a few changes over here, because it's the last match for Sri Lanka. I'm going to bring in DDS at number four, just to see one match for Sri Lanka. So I'm going to bring in DDS. I'm going to change a bit. Number five, obviously, I'm going to bring in Banuka, and yes, Banuka is useful. Hasaranga is going to come at six for me. Chamika is going to come at seven. Shanaka should come at number 8, which is never going to happen, but this is going to be my option. He's going to come at number 8. Samir obviously playing today. Um, I'm still Lahiru Kumar. I think it's a bit of a concern, so I'm going to bring in uh, this one. So I'm going to make three changes for Sri Lanka today, because it's their last match, obviously. So I'm going to bring in Binura Fernando. So I'm going to make three changes for Sri Lanka today. So this is my playing 11. As you can see, I think they need extra spinner. So that's why I'm bringing Dhananjay De Silva to this side. And I think Avishka has been struggling as number 4. His recent form doesn't actually help being in this playing 11. So I'll give him a rest. Anyways, this is the last match for Sri Lanka. Chandima is going to come back to the squad for KJP. He's going to wicket keep for me. I'm going to trusting Chandimal, DDS, and Binura Fernando. For Lahiru Kumara, KJP, and Avishka Fernando. So three changes for Sri Lanka today. Big train changes, but I think this will work out for Sri Lanka. Playing 11 for West Indies. Okay, who's commenting over here? Yeah, happy Diwali, Dipan. So yes, I told that at the beginning also. So this is my playing 11. Three changes for Sri Lanka last match. So obviously I'll be making these changes for Sri Lanka in my opinion. West Indies. Yes, I'm going to still back Lewis and Gale to open. Even though Gale didn't perform in the previous match, I'm sticking with that. Quran will come at number three. Let's see, West Indies side, yeah. Lewis and Gale is going to open. Puran is going to come at number three. I want to see Roston Chase at number four. So it's a settled side, okay. So Chase is going to come at number four. Then number five, I will go with Shimron Hetmai has been struggling, but I'll bring in Shimron Hetmai at number five still. So Shimron Hetmaier, I think Pollard was injured in the last match, so I hope he can play. So Pollard will be at 6 as captain. Yeah. 7 obviously I'll bring in who Andre Russell. He has to be in the side, no matter if he's in bad form, good form, whatever. So number 7, Russell, I'll bring in Holt at 8, DJ Bravo at 9, Akil Hussein at 10. Yeah, and my number 11 option is Ravi Rampal. Yeah, so that's my playing 11. Yeah, you can see here. So playing 11 for West Indies. I think it's the same 11 that I went with. If Pollard is injured, if he's not sure for today's game, then I have to go with the extra batting option. And maybe Hayden Walsh Jr. can actually. I'll go with the extra bowling option because Holder can bat at number 7. Hayden Walsh Jr. will be coming to my side. If Pollard is very unsure today and he's not fit, then I'll bring in Hayden Walsh Jr. as extra spinner for West Indies today because I think it's going to be a spin battle. Yeah. Hamza says Sri Lanka have to win today to get automatic qualification for next year. Yeah, that's what Sri Lanka. Yeah, yeah, definitely must win for Sri Lanka. Really, really crucial win here. Thank you for that, Hamza. Kusal Pereira will not play. No, no. Samath, no. KJP is not playing. After dropping 3 catches in the last 3 matches, I think Chandimal should be playing for this match only. I think it's a suitable thing. I will go with 2 right-handers. I think Pathum Nisank and Chandimal can fire. KJP is not playing in my opinion. No way. He's not going to wicket keep. He's playing in the side, or but Chandimal has to play be the wicket keeper. I'm not impressed with KJP's wicket keeping. That's costing us a lot of the matches. Also, is costing us the match. Yeah, Hamza here says Walsh might play as Sri Lanka is vulnerable against leg spin. Yeah, maybe he can come instead of Akil Hussein, but we are not sure whether Pollard is playing because he had an injury concern in the last match and Puran was captaining. So maybe um, Hayden Walsh Jr. will be coming for in this side for Pollard maybe, and maybe make this one better at number 7, Jason Holder. Yeah, KJP shouldn't keep. Yes, that's why I'm saying Chandimal has to be playing. KJP has to be dropped for this match. No matter if he perform well against Australia, unfortunately, I think Chandimal should be playing, and DDS should come back for Avishka. Or maybe Kusal Janit can play at number 4. That's option. But the problem is they don't have extra spinning option. This is the issue for me. DDS meanwhile can bat at certain times and can play that anchor role. And Asalanka can be firing, and Banuka can be brought at number 5, and he also can play that attacking mode. So DDS gives that extra spinning option. That's why I would say against West Indies when they struggle against spin, the Dhananjay De Silva is a good option for me. KJP to be left out and bringing Chandimal as the wicket keeper. And the bowling wise, I want to see Binura Fernando who can swing the ball and trouble these West Indies batsmen if Sri Lanka bowls first. So that's a good option. Yeah. Okay, he says Avishka will be playing. Miki has said in press conference. Okay, then maybe then make a change in the opening. Chandimal for KJP, and KJP is dropped out of this match. Can't help, but I think that's the ideal choice if Sri Lanka wants to win. I think Dinesh Chandimal is a better wicket keeper than KJP, and Dinesh Chandimal should be playing. Even though his batting has been a bit of a concern, I would say the catches are most crucial more than the batting, and hope Chandimal plays today. This is a good opportunity for Chandimal to grab this opportunity, and I think it's a good option to rest KJP for this match. Considering his injury and the upcoming Test series against West Indies now in November, I think good choice if KJP is rested for this match because of his injury prones. Yeah. Yeah, Samanthos has said, yeah, he has dropped many catches. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, so this is my playing 11, Louis for West Indies, and once again I show my playing 11. I made 3 changes, but now Hamza has said Avishka will be playing, so then DDS might not play in this side. I won't change the others, obviously. So yeah, so that's it from the sports breakdown. We went a lot of time over here. So we'll be doing a live watch along from the 16th over 15th, 16th of the first innings, and we'll go through the end of the match of Sri Lanka versus West Indies. So yeah, any more comments over here Yeah, that's what I said. 15th, 16th over of the first innings, or maybe the end of the first innings. Let's see. It depends on my situation today. I am a bit busy. So let's see, either 15th, 16th of the first innings or the end of the first innings. From that, I'll be doing the second innings, whole innings. I promise I'll be doing the whole second innings of the Sri Lanka versus West Indies watch along. But till then, Australia versus Bangladesh first going on in Sharjah at 3:30. So let's see how that goes, and hope Bangladesh will win to help Sri Lanka. But obviously Sri Lanka out. But I would like to see upset obviously happening, Bangladesh winning, and this is a must win for Sri Lanka to gain get automatic qualification for the 2020 World Cup in 2021. So till then, this is it from the sports breakdown. Happy Diwali once again to everyone, and have a whole years, and have a great Diwali to all the Indians and the Sri Lankan Hindus over here. So yes, this is it from the sports breakdown, and I'll meet you in the night. So we covered all four matches. Summary: we covered Bangladesh versus South Africa, Pakistan versus Namibia. Then we covered New Zealand versus Scotland, and obviously the last match, India versus Afghanistan. So we covered everything. So today we are doing a watch along of Sri Lanka versus West Indies from the 15th or 16th over of the first innings throughout the second innings also. So stay tuned, and till then, see you guys tonight. Please subscribe to the channel. Please click the notification bell on. Please like, please comment, please share to your friends. Please, Hamza, please share to your friends over in Sri Lanka. Tell them to subscribe to my channel. It will be a great boost. We are nearing 150 subscribers, and I promise I'll be bringing more guests like Aaron from the Cricket Connoisseur, then Jack from the WW podcast. Please check their my videos with them. I'll be bringing a very special guest very soon. I'll tell that clue. I'll be bringing a very special guest. I can't 100% promise, but hopefully things go in plan. Bringing a very special guest. You won't even imagine this guest coming to sports breakdown. If he agrees, it will be a big boost to the channel. If he does agree to come to the sports breakdown, so that I'll give a clue right now. Yeah, so that's a big guest. You won't imagine who's going to come to this YouTube channel very soon. So after 2020 World Cup, so that's the only clue. So till then, see you guys, and see you in the next video.